and she is a health practitioner. She's a public health practitioner actually, and she's also your blessing.
Thank you.
Good to have you. So how was your trip down here?
Very well.
HIV and AIDS, and then the effect of this very infection.
HIV, the meaning of HIV is human immunodeficiency virus, and AIDS means acquired. It means it's actually a virus that causes infections. It's actually a virus that leads to diseases. More than 40 million people living with HIV worldwide, and we've had a mortality rate of be gotten through sexual contact. HIV can be gotten through blood transfusion. HIV can be gotten needles. So that's just it.
All right, now, basically when people talk about HIV, they wouldn't stop using HIV and AIDS, like they come together. So can you quickly it's just like a new normal that we have to use HIV and AIDS. So if someone has HIV, you definitely have AIDS. So what's the difference?
Okay. Someone can actually have HIV and the person doesn't have AIDS.
Okay.
So that way it can proceed to the stage of AIDS. AIDS is like the stage 3 of HIV.
How long does that take before it gets to stage 3?
We have the little or no signs of HIV symptoms. Yes, we also have percentage. Then you could also see like there could be also lip cracks during this stage. Then that's disease. From here you see someone having like the person sweats profusely. Yes, then we also have the stage 4. That's like there are different stages.
Okay, so basically now you've been an anything like implementation of this PrEP. You talked about PrEP the other time.
We actually have drugs where people take to prevent HIV, and it is 99% effective.
Wow.
And you don't just use it alongside condom and other preventive measures. So yeah. So
now basically what is like the mode of operation of HIV and AIDS?
Okay, so like I said before, HIV and AIDS actually infect or are doing, you notice that the body is unable to fight off other infections coming into the body. Then it also CD4 cells and multiplies the virus every day. That's why we've been saying that a person who doesn't take, when the CD4 cells actually gets destroyed, what happens is that less than 200, and it gets to the stage where they call it stage 3. That's the advanced HIV problems.
Wow. So you've been talking a lot about the CD4 cells. Can you enlighten us more? What are they like?
Okay, the CD4 cells in the body, these are actually like the helper cells in the body. Yeah. So they're actually very important.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, we noted and skeptical about getting pregnant, and for the ones that have taken in, they are scared of the expectant mothers. Would you advise they take in, or is there any possibility of having a baby that is not infected?
Yes, baby that is not infected. Yes. So what happens is if the mother is actually virally suppressed, if she takes her drug, we actually have nevirapine given to the baby after 72 hours of delivery. Okay. Then the second DBS, we have a DBS at 18 months. That's 1 month 6 months, 1 year 6 months. Yes. So there's actually a way a pregnant woman can.
Now, does it have to be through normal child delivery, or it must be cesarean section?
No, she should register for antenatal in a primary healthcare center or in a hospital. She shouldn't go to use other means. So she should go to, because we've already said that HIV, a mother can actually transmit or transfer HIV to the child during childbirth. Yeah. So it's very good that the mother.
It's part of the world where a partner is actually infected and the other is not. Yeah. Now is infected and the other is not.
Okay, we've already talked about the drugs, the lifelong lasting drugs, HIV drugs. So if a partner to be infected, we talk about viral load suppression. Okay. Yes, that is like for my NGO, that's our second 95. The third 95, where we talk about viral load suppression. So if somebody is actually virally suppressed, the person can go on. Wow. So you encourage your partner who is HIV positive to, the person is virally suppressed and gets up to the stage where we talk about U is equal to U. undetectable is equal to untransmittable.
Right, on the U is equal to U, and the undetectable is equal to the undetectable. That sounds like
Is less than 20 copies or less than 40 copies, we can call that undetectable. Do you understand?
Okay.
Checking the copies.
okay. All right. Thank you so much, Blessing James, for joining us on the show today. So I hope you're learning. I hope you're learning. I mean, the most interesting part of what Blessing said right here was the fact that they are preps. Get yourself tested. Aside from HIV, always go for your medical checkup. So we'll go on a short break, and when we return, well-being can. You're welcome back to the show, Well-being. All right, you can join this conversation on all our socials at Spectrumtv.ng, or visit our website at spectrumtv.ng. Education and information about this very virus and how to, deal with it, how to go to the clinic, get yourself tested, and not be shy to work of survival for the carriers of HIV and AIDS.
Okay, HIV and AIDS, lifelong lasting HIV drugs. So if they take their drugs every day consistently, way to go.
Okay. Now, you talked about the mode of transmission the other time, like unsterilized sharp object infection.
Yeah, we already talked about blood transfusion.
Okay.
I also mentioned HIV cannot be gotten through sharing of toilets.
Okay.
It cannot be gotten through hugs and handshakes.
They have like an injury and there's a blood, because I learned it's transferred through. There must be a contact through blood, right?
Yes.
Now, so what happens?
We are talking about blood.
Okay.
Definitely, you will be infected.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Now, quickly, do you think HIV is actually like a death sentence?
No. HIV and relate with people like they are normal people. HIV is not a death sentence.
Well, manage stigmatization. Now, okay, so let's cite example for some clinics, all right, which those nurses gave out the information that this very guy was HIV positive was very terrible. Not even knowing the mode of transmission or how the person contacted this very disease. Do you understand now? So how?
We know we can't do without the stigma.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it's something that we want to test a client, or if you have someone who is infected, we have the 5 C's. When you are counseling or testing a client, you give the client correct results, then you link the person, like you connect the client. Those are the 5 C's. So I don't think that helps. Or the person can sue you. It's not right. So also talking about stigma, it doesn't really have to do with only the health sectors. People who are aware of what HIV is, we should try to create awareness. HIV.
Yeah.
Flow with the person, mix up with the person.
Wow.
As far as you avoid using the person's sharp objects.
Yeah. It was making rounds, social media, and like you said, communities where people major symptom of HIV or a carrier of this very HIV, that someone other minor symptoms that one should be looking out for. So if I notice this in my body, I shouldn't wait for me.
For that question, we have so many symptoms of HIV, depending on the staging.
Okay.
Okay, on the staging, we also have nausea. Symptoms include vomiting. The person can even have cracked lips. Yes. Depending on...
research has it that this very infection can stay in your... You are a carrier. Now, in a situation like that, how long do you... Immune...
Yes, depends on the person's immune system. So someone can actually come today or someone can actually manifest. So it depends on the body system.
All right. So for some persons that have other... about immune system now. So for others that their immune system are not really strong, and what do you think will happen to them? They are prone to die faster than people that actually have stronger immune.
So people like that, there are still chances of them living, surviving. Yes. Get tested. Get the
food with excessive use of pepper. Shouldn't be peppery. You shouldn't take peppery meals or any sour fruit or drink. Now, for do's and don't for the carriers of this very infection.
Okay, HIV doesn't select food. It will not be effective. You will not be adherent. So what they do is you take your food, every kind of food you
It was very wonderful having you on the show, Wellbeing Today, Blessing Gems. All right, so quickly before you go, I would like you to give the audience, a viewer that is watching right now and learning about HIV.
I would say HIV is not a death sentence. But at the same time, there are things you shouldn't do. If you know you can't stay without sex, be faithful. Then the C is condom. And I would add something else, which is PrEP. It's a death sentence. You can live with HIV and go on with your life.
Fine.
Yes.
All right, so you talked about your NGO. So what are they into?
Okay. Thank you very much. You must not come to my facility before you get tested. There are so many facilities. Negative, and you know you are someone who has multiple sex partners, tell them to give you PrEP alongside condom.
Tip for the day. Please don't go away.
HIV and AIDS originated in Africa in the early 20th century, and its cases are concentrated in Southern Africa, although the continent is home to about 15 already died. Sub-Saharan Africa alone accounted for an estimated 69% of all people. AIDS has raised that rate and lowered life expectancy among adults between the age of 20 AIDS epidemic, with life expectancy in some countries reaching as low as 39 years. Prevalence of HIV and AIDS and the Horn of Africa have a significantly lower prevalence rate, as their population typically. Africa is the worst affected region on the continent as of 2000. South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. In response, a number of initiatives have been launched in various parts of the continent, and being faithful and using a condom, amongst others. According to Global, was just over 50% higher than the number of deaths from malaria in 2017. HIV.
That was a very wonderful report on HIV and AIDS. Now let's go on the tip of today. Our health tip for today is sugary beverages. That means if you love caffeinated drinks a whole lot, you need to take at least 3 liters of water before I go. Now let me remind you that which is A. A is abstinence. You need to abstain, and if you cannot use your condoms whenever you are having an unprotected sex with a partner that is well-being. Bye-bye.